So we had a close one in Colorado. Aggs pulled that one out 10-7. A lot of things didn't go our way. Haynes King getting injured. In a much closer game than we thought it was going to be. So let's break it down and let's take a look and see what was going on, because we got New Mexico coming up this weekend and Arkansas the following weekend. Before we do that, though, I wanted to shout out a couple of folks because I really appreciate the comments. First off, Chuck Cross and Hitch Your Wagon. I appreciate the feedback because I really do take it and try and use it. So hopefully you'll see some changes here. And like Jimbo says, the truth helps everyone grow. Special shout out to South Boston, Ghost Fan, Jeb, and Z-Bones. Thanks for interactions in the comments. Keep it up. See you guys there, hopefully again after this video. All right, so a common theme you're going to see when we get to this first play is they've got 5 on the line, so essentially 7 in the box. So that was a big switch from what we're used to. So next up, you'll see again, we got 5 in the box there. This guy cross faces on Kenyon Green, though, to make the play. Not characteristic of him, so something that was also different that we were having to deal with. Coverage is just extremely tight here. You see that throw right there to Chase Lane. He's blanketed the whole way. Up on defense, you see our offensive line getting penetration there. And then Damani Richardson comes up and makes the play. Great effort there, great read. This time you see us bringing more pressure, and Aaron Hansford just lays the wood right here. Interception by Peavy, and let's take a different angle on this one and kind of see a little bit more what was going on. Great team effort, man. They're really pumped up for this too. So Aaron Hansford going to come on from the right side here. This is all in-game coverage. Pops him. Obviously affects the throw. Peavy comes with it. I mean, awesome effort. So anyways, we're getting ready to go back on offense, and so you'll see us here again. They get 5 on the front, 6 in the box. And in this one, Watermeyer really just kind of takes one on the chin there. We miss one, they make the play. They're rushing 3 here. They drop 8. Still find Spiller open, and he makes some great plays on his own to get, 7, maybe 8. Running back's going to be a theme for this one throughout. Pull by Haynes King, of course. A little pressure there by the guy on Kenyon again. Don't like the non-slide, hoping for that, in the future. Hopefully Calzada is going to be taking notice of this, right, because we really can't afford to have another guy go down. But great elusiveness by King there. Probably get a little bit more out of the guy that Aggie was on than we would have liked to have had here. You see all the top of the screen there, Brian George is playing 7 off. He backpedals to start off with and then breaks a little bit late, give him the 7 or 8 yard gain. Good penetration here and good pressure by Andre White getting the tackle. Bringing more pressure here, and we just really clog up the throwing lane. Block that pass, and again, we got them punting, and we're getting the ball back. So we should be coming up on Calzada's first drive. But right here you see Anias, he averaged about 8 yards per punt return. Bringing some pressure off the edge again. They go opposite side. Defensive line responds well. They only manage about, 2, maybe 3 there. Similar story, but this time coverage is much better, especially by Jalen Jones. He's able to knock that one away. Breaks on the ball really well. Big high point. You see we're playing a little bit more up on the receivers on this play here. The coverage down the field is excellent, and so we basically get a coverage sack on this one. I mean, he throws the ball away, but whatever. Let's see from another angle kind of what was going on. Look right here, and after they snap the ball, you see those DBs down the field. I mean, there's just nowhere to throw the ball to. So they've done a little bit where they play off. They've done a little bit where they play on from the cornerback standpoint. Another decent return from sub-zero, maybe not as much as he wants. He looks a little bit awkward while he's running throughout the game. Not sure what that's about, but he still manages decent yardage. All right, so handoff by Calzada. A little better job by the offensive line on this one. Holes much wider and much more obvious going on that one. So 8 in the box on that play, but we're still able to manage about 4 yards, even though the defensive end crashed hard. You'll see here, I mean, they play 5 up on the line, but they are dropping man coverage and they are covering and they are right on top of each receiver. Very little window for error on these throws, and that'll be a theme throughout. Great punt here by Constant New. Hopefully I pronounced that right. The Aussie, let's just call him that. Good distance. Defense, 4-man rush. As you can see, Damani, him and George worked really well on that play. Damani took the flat. George took the guy going up the field. Again, much better break on the ball by George on this one. He played off and was slow to react throughout a lot of the game, but in this second half here, he's changed up quite a bit. All right, first drive of the second half. You can see here our offensive line is not pulling as much as they were before. That was just a man-up scheme. Same thing here, no pulls, straight up, man-on-man. Let Spiller do his work. He bounces it outside and he gets the first down. Right here we're going to kind of continue the same magic. Straight ahead. No funny business. I think we're going to pull right here. Yep. But the difference on this one was execution. So I think Layden Robinson pulled and Spiller ran on, or actually it was a chain ran on the inside. Did the same thing with Weidemeyer, ran on the inside. Here the window again is just real tight. So it's hard to make the reception of Chase Lane. Where just again, theme is wide receivers had difficulty getting any space and getting any distance in between all night long. That's simply just a strike to Chase. Against the grain by Calzada, not much room to work with. Takes the hit, and that's your guy right there, right, for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I feel pretty good about the guy standing in there to take that. He throws that to Lane, and I mean, it just really couldn't have been much of a better throw. There's the only place it could have been. Great catch by Lane. He'd been struggling, but he comes through there. Really got a pass rush on this one, and they kind of disrupted that pass and just had to throw it a little too high to Spiller, and he couldn't quite make it because of that. A little more separation there than we had been getting from Lane, and good throw by Calzada. Credit him. Really legs this one out to get the first down, because 3rd and 3, and we're really needing to keep the ball moving here because we haven't done much of that all day, right? So this will start to show some of the development of the offense, right? And this was one of the few wide open passes that we had, and you'll kind of see why. I just kind of overloaded this side. Nias and Spiller went to that side. Weidemeyer over there as well. They played really well all night. They must have got a little confused on that one. Left Weidemeyer wide open, and we got to hit it for the strike. A little bit of an errant throw. He looked pretty well covered downfield, so maybe it was a little bit more of a throwaway type of pass. Again, more separation than we've been getting all game here from Chapman. Comes at a timely spot because we need to move the ball. We're getting close. All right, 3rd and 3. We're on the 13-yard line. Calzada bumps it up, then outside. Chase Lane takes his man with him, and Calzada sidesteps the defender, take it in the end zone. Watch what the team does here. I mean, we know that was a fumble now, but look what the team is doing. And who do you see right there? Who do you see right on top of Calzada? Number 1. He's been on the sideline all game. He pumped this game up from start to finish. He's waving his towel all game long. And the way this team rallied around him right there, it's hard to say and use this as part of the position grade, but it still says a lot. That was one of the few drives of the second half where Colorado got some yardage, because they only managed approximately 24 yards of rushing offense. So that was, what, 5 of their total 24. 2 more right there. So they're really not getting much on us. O'Neal breaks on that one really well to keep that to just a 2-yard gain instead of maybe something like 5. Again, you see right there, much better break on the ball, much better coverage from our secondary. It grew leaps and bounds from first half to second half. And Antonio Johnson, I kept this one in there specifically because man had 9 tackles. Probably best defensive grade of the game was by him. So we've had that touchdown turned over. You see that one is a lob pass right there. And that was almost intercepted. Just a tip off the hands. Needed a little bit more touch. If you watch this play right there from the beginning, rewind that. So on this one with Spiller, instead of sending him out there after the snap, we're sending him out there before the snap. And it's just a huge overload. So they've been used to putting 5 up on the line and then actually reacting to the play and covering him. But he was already out there, and you saw the DB. He bailed, and it was just something, a little wrinkle that we did that threw them off there to be able to get that. We just threw this play, right, just a little while back, but you can watch the throw. It's a little bit more of a lob this time. The linebacker almost gets to it. Watch right here. So he's going to jump up and just get his fingertips on that if he even got it on there, right? But that's just a little bit better of a touch throw than he had that last go-around, right? And then we know the ultimate touch throw is coming here shortly. All right, so we got both guys in the backfield again. Wademeyer on the left. Chapman closest to you. Okay, and we're going to rewind this one as well, so let's take a look. Okay, so on this one, watch 61, Bryce Foster. He's actually going to pull on this play, which to me is a little bit of an odd thing to be taking place on this. He's right there in the middle. All right, so they're about to snap the ball. When they do, watch him. Watch him. He's going to pull. Okay, so he pulls over to the right side. A chain goes on through. He's got to get over there, and he's got to keep that guy from getting up the field and going around. It's just an odd, maybe over complicated play that we maybe didn't need to do, a little bit more self-inflicted. Much more of a clean run here, right? We man up, we go, we get the first down. So let's take a little bit closer look at that. Again, you see we don't really have the pulling aspect. Kenyon Green just lets 26 go the direction that he wants to go because he knows that Spiller's going to be running on the outside. Now, Calzada maybe brought this a little bit on himself. Looked like to me the line, though, actually gave up quite a bit more ground than they had typically been given in most other plays. Spiller didn't really make a great block on that one, but it was enough to stymie the guys there at the line of scrimmage and a chain get to them, and before they try to make any contact, he pulls them. Great move by Spiller here, and you're going to see it on the replay that this was probably the best route that was run all day. He goes inside, plants outside. I mean, almost no room. I mean, great coverage by the DB still. It's hard to ask for much more. Just a strike, great catch, great execution overall. That sets us up on the 19-yard line. Okay, not really much going on here. There's a great coverage all around. Same spot again. Wademeyer really threw some good blocks. I mean, there ended up being 3 guys over there at once, and so he really tried to occupy all 3 of them as best he could. Spiller did his thing, made some great moves, got some of that yardage. Really only got a yard on that play. And then again, you see right here, this is the progression, right? That was the ultimate touch throw. Very good route by Spiller, and then recognition by Calzada. He drops that one in there. That's the dime of the game, right? And that is what we needed, and what was made the game possible for winning. A combination of that and our defense. Our defense made everything this game possible. So the win wasn't possible without the defense. And you can see the progression from Calzada throughout the game. And take a look at this guy right there. He's going to be your guy for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm pretty excited about it. These guys are rallying around him. Jimbo took a lot of time throughout the game to coach him up. This team right here is really on cloud 9. So are the fans. Great turnout in Colorado by the fans. So what grades do you have? These are mine. QB, running back, wide receiver, special teams. I think the QB is a C. I mean, for all the growth that took place, I think, during the game, I think we still got to recognize for what it was. Not ideal, don't get me wrong, but I want to mark it as truthfully as possible so we can look at it after next game and see if there's any growth that takes place from this grade. No interceptions, the one fumble. That one fumble was crucial. So I am taking it into consideration. Running backs, I really have them at an A+. It wasn't a typical running back game. We didn't have 2 100-yard rushers or anything like that, right? But we just had some hard work, great route running, and some of the differences in the game made by them. They were, in large part, our receiving core for a large portion of the game. Wide receivers, they know this wasn't their best game. I still give them a C+, because they did come through down the stretch. There were some clutch catches. I don't think they played to their standard that they typically play by this game. Special teams did miss one field goal. Had a pretty good punt return the whole time. You know, like I said, Anais did look a little awkward for some reason this game, but that's not typical. Still got the yardage to speak for, so hey. And then punting was quite good. So any of those areas don't work out so well, and we might find ourselves, 10-10, or even could have been 14-10 without these areas playing, especially special teams not, if they weren't playing as well as they did this game, and we could find ourselves backed up. Let's take a look at the defensive side. Can't forget all about offensive line, though. They had their struggles. Seemed like play calling could have been part of those struggles, maybe a little bit too complex of a game at some points. I still feel like they played pretty well, but I still think that they deserve a critical grade. I've got them in the B- range. Maybe you've got them something a little bit different. Tell me what you got. Defensive line I've got as an A-. There was some times when the quarterback got loose. It was something I had predicted was going to take place, and it did. Otherwise, I might have them at the A, even A. This might be a little harsh. Maybe they should still get that A. Maybe they should have got an A+ if they hadn't allowed the quarterback to get around quite so much. But there were still a few gap issues here and there. But they played just such a good game overall, so I definitely feel like they deserve the A full on. Linebackers were better. You saw some of the stuff that Aaron Hansford did. There were still a few gap challenges and some, reads that were important. So I feel like there was a little bit of an upgrade in this game. There's definitely a solid B effort from them. DBs, for their struggles in the beginning of the game, finished really well on the backside. I think I was real close to getting them into the B+ and A range, or A- range on this one, but looking for a little bit more consistency from them throughout, and then I think I'll be more comfortable with that. So definitely got something to mark off of now that we've got Calzada in, to see what we're going to do next week with New Mexico. And then so after we get done with New Mexico, then we'll come back, we'll grade that game, try and take a little bit better look at the comparison from game to game, because I don't feel like it was quite the same this game. I mean, especially trying to compare quarterback to quarterback and those grades. I'm really looking forward to getting McKinley Jackson back. You saw the differences that Clemson made in this game, which were highlight reel type stuff. So, not sure that Miles Jones will be back yet. I think he's still got some time left. But you can see the progression from Brian George, and he's getting better, especially when he's put in a spot where he can play to his strength, which I think is just straight man coverage. So let's wait. I'm going to do a preview on the New Mexico game, and then we'll do, of course, a game grade the day after or so. And let's see where we get from there because we got Arkansas the following week. Really excited, so let's see what happens. Thanks and gig 'em.